We will investigate the relation between state and religion in Indonesia, a predominantly Muslim country, in which one province, Aceh, incorporates Sharia law into its legal system. Indonesia's constitution is based on religious belief. Article 29 of the Constitution states that the state shall be based upon the belief in the one and only God. However, the Constitution also allows for religious freedom. In general, the government respects what the Ministry of Religion states are the 6 officially recognized religions: Islam, Christianity as Catholicism and Protestantism, Buddhism, Hinduism, and Confucianism. It is still legal to practice a religion other than those mentioned, but these groups must be registered as social organizations. Atheism is illegal. Religions are not allowed to organize public events unless they have been granted a permit. Religions are not allowed to promote the religion, and religious speech is allowed unless its aim is to convert others to the religion. It is against the law to distribute religious documents or materials to people of other religions. The population of Indonesia is around 250 million people, around 10 times the size of Australia. The census in 2010 showed that 87% of the population of Indonesia are Muslim. Of these, more than 99% are Sunni Muslims. This means that Shia Islam is a minority branch. Christians constitute 9% of the population, or some 22 million people. There are 4 million Hindus and almost 2 million Buddhists in Indonesia. It is a culturally diverse country, with migrants having come from Asia, Europe, and Australasia. Through modern media like TV, film, and internet, Western culture has had an influence on Indonesian culture. The majority of Muslims in Indonesia would prefer the country to become a religious state. The province of Aceh has been given special permission by the Indonesian government to institute aspects of Sharia law into the legal system. This is only allowed providing it does not contradict national law. The mosque you can see is the Batu Rahman Grand Mosque in Aceh province. The laws in Aceh began to be adapted in 1999 to include Sharia law, beginning with the dress code for women, meaning that they must wear a headscarf. There have been reports of women experiencing violence for not following these laws. Further dress code laws were implemented in 2002, followed by the prohibition of alcohol and gambling in 2003. In the same year, the seclusion law was put in place, which forbids an unmarried man and woman from being alone together. The punishment for such crimes can be a fine, imprisonment, or caning. In 2009, the law was updated, increasing the punishment of many crimes and adding new offences, such as intimacy, adultery or sexual relations between unmarried people, sexual harassment, rape, and homosexual conduct. The punishments range from 60 lashes for intimacy to 100 lashes for an unmarried person who commits adultery, to stoning to death for a married person who commits adultery. The national law has also shown tension between Islam and secular groups, as you can see by the quote on your screen. Many secular organizations argue that the legal system discriminates against women, particularly with regard to marriage laws. There has been much interreligious violence in Indonesia, despite the government's official line of respect for religion. In some cases, groups of Sunni Muslims have targeted the small Shia Muslim population. In 2008, the United States Commission on international religious freedom found attacks particularly prevalent in East Java and Madura. More recent reports in 2013 claimed that displaced Shiite Muslims who were living in a temporary camp had been threatened with being moved yet again if they did not convert to Sunni Islam. They had originally been displaced when their community in the Sampang district was burnt down. The Satara Institute of Peace noted that there were 370 acts of violence on religious minorities in 2012. The targets are usually Christians and Shia Muslims, although other minority branches of Islam have also been targeted. Some argue that minority religions have also been discriminated against by the refusal of planning permission for building their places of worship. Moreover, when such groups have gathered together for worship, often in temporary shelter, they have been targets of intolerant groups who disrupt their worship as much as possible, using non-violent and violent means. Indonesia has a serious challenge to face with this prevalent issue of interreligious tension, and is beginning to tackle it with education programs, though some argue that the government itself allows for religious discrimination.